Hi and welcome to a video looking at Franz von Papen, a key character within the study of Hitler's rise to power in Weimar Germany. So I guess we need to start with the question, who was Franz von Papen? And there you see a picture of him taken in the 1920s. Von Papen is one of the politicians during this period. He initially starts out with the Centre Party. He's of Prussian descent, so he's very traditional, probably not ordinarily a centre politician, probably more likely to be slightly right-wing, but mediocre politician, not really very important at all, happens to be friends with some significant people, including, or at least he makes friends with during this period, President Hindenburg. And it's through this and the actions of Chancellor Schließer that von Papen is appointed to Chancellor in June of 1932. Now, obviously, this is the period where we have huge economic problems in Weimar Germany due to the Great Depression, due to the Wall Street crash of October 1929. So it's in this tumultuous, very difficult political and economic situation that von Papen becomes Chancellor. Von Papen was a surprise choice because he didn't really have a huge amount of support. He wasn't seen as being a heavyweight politician and couldn't really call upon enough seats within the Reichstag to have a majority or to kind of be an effective Chancellor. In an attempt to win support, he overturned a ban that existed against the SA, against the Nazi stormtroopers, and that caused huge problems on the streets of Berlin, open fighting between the SA and communist supporters. He overthrew, this is von Papen, he overthrew the state government that operated within Prussia. Remember that each state within Germany had its own Reichsrat, which was like a local government, a local council, and he organised a coup that overthrew that, so that caused problems there. And basically he relied on ruling by decree. He relied on Article 48 of the Constitution in order to get anything done, and that meant he relied on the power of President Hindenburg. The homework question you've been set is from an exam paper from section B, where there's a 4-mark question asking you on the importance of something, and this particular question was, why was Franz von Papen important? So in order to understand why von Papen is important, you do need to know a little bit about his background, and you do need to know the circumstances involved in his role in Hitler being appointed Chancellor. And here you see a source from the British magazine Punch called The Temporary Triangle. And you can see that there's von Papen, and he and the other person, Hindenburg, are supporting Hitler. And this is to represent the relationship that the three people had together, that von Papen and Hindenburg together were responsible for Hitler coming to power. It's von Papen who says to Hindenburg, appoint Hitler as Chancellor, appoint me as Vice-Chancellor, and I will control him. So he makes Hindenburg that promise. And you can see there in the source, he already looks like he's struggling to kind of support Hitler. Now, whether that's support as in keep Hitler in power as Chancellor, or whether that's support as in prevent Hitler getting away and kind of doing the things that he eventually does, is less than clear from the source. In the background we have the cheering SA celebrating Hitler's success, and although it doesn't show up very well, at the bottom it's the For He's a Jolly Good Fellow song, sang by von Hindenburg and von Papen. So it's von Papen's role in Hitler being appointed as Chancellor, and von Papen's role perhaps in allowing the SA to become a legitimate legal organisation again, that is the reason he is so important. In terms of your answer, there are only 2 levels of response for a 4-mark question. Level 1 looks for some brief details, some brief information on the person or event identified in the question. So in order to get level 2, you're looking for an explanation which shows understanding in a broader context. Here they're basically meaning, why was von Papen important over time? That's a broader context. Why was he important both at the time and over time? Remember, in an exam, for a 4-mark question, you'd only have maybe 6 or 7 minutes at the most, and ideally you should complete it in less than that. So you'd probably be only looking to do maybe 6 or 7 lines of writing, depending on the size of your writing, obviously. So remember, a few key details about von Papen, a judgment about his importance, and a judgment about his importance in the longer term events which took place. Best of luck.